everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sports Wrap Daily. We are making our way through the back half of the week here in Southern Nevada. Happy Thursday to you. I am Darrell Harris. Today, I am joined by 8 News Now sports director Chris Maathius. Welcome, Chris. How you doing today?
Good, Darrell. How you doing today?
I'm all right. We are up the street, essentially, just a handful of miles from where the flag football state championships are taking place for the second year in a row at Allegiant Stadium. So,
how great is that, too? When you think about that the Raiders basically give Allegiant Stadium over to the NIAA and say, hey, go play your games at Allegiant Stadium. Because remember, they used to play them inside the facility out there in Henderson, the headquarters.
Yeah, Intermountain. And then I was trying to dig up some video as well from a couple years past, and I think if it wasn't you'll remember vividly when I say it. If it wasn't you, it was Ron or somebody else, but it was raining. It was like pouring rain during the championships. I was going through the video, and I was like, oh, they had a good one. No rain coming down today or inside Allegiant Stadium, period, really. But how about we kick this off with Alexis Bass, who is inside Allegiant Stadium covering this game, and she sent us an update from the first of 2 games between Green Valley and Sierra Vista. So we appreciate it, Alexis. Let's see what's going on inside Allegiant today.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Darrell. We are live here at Allegiant Stadium for the Class 4A NIAA Flag Football State Championship. The second time Allegiant hosting the event. Talking to both coaches pregame, they said how important and how meaningful it is to have the backing of the NFL and the Raiders in order to host this event, and how pivotal it is to the growth of this sport. As we know, the NIAA, the state of Nevada, is wrapping up their 9th year. They'll look to celebrate their 10th year as a sanctioned sport next season. They're only one of 17 schools in the entire country that has flag football as a sanctioned sport. So obviously a big deal here. Green Valley also just scored. They answered back, so we have a 12-7 score with just under 10 minutes left in the second half. Another thing that I wanted to make note of, the school bands is here, the cheerleaders are here down there. Really, really sweet hearing some of the cheerleaders, some of the student athletes ahead of this one, looking at each other saying, oh my goodness, we get to play on the same field as Max Crosby. So certainly meaningful for so many people involved, for the growth of the sport, as we also know it's going to be a sport in the Olympics come 2020 in LA. So once again, we'll have plenty more coverage for you live at 4, 5, and 6. But for now, that's a wrap for me.
So that was just a taste of some of the action.
Yeah.
First of the doubleheader, that's the Division 4A, Green Valley and Sierra Vista. 5A is Gorman and Shadow Ridge, kicking off right after that game. So, yeah, what you expect to see. Different schools. I think last year, Green Valley was in one of the championships last year, but I believe Palo was in one of them also. So we got a couple different schools. I don't think Gorman was in the championship last year. No.
They're looking for their first title. Gorman is. Hey, Shadow Ridge has a player on its team that is probably the best player in the state, Palmer. Quarterback, I think she's number 12.
Yes, you were telling me about it. Jay Lonnie.
Yeah, she played at the little event they had at the Super Bowl in Santa Clara with the Pro Bowl and the flag football showcase they had with all the people there. A lot of talented play. It's amazing, Darrell, when you think about it. They've had Macy Johnsich, who was on the U.S. team. We did some stories with her, and then she's played around. They've won medals international level and so forth. Now she's going to be on the U.S. team in 2028. Well, she's going to try to get on that U.S. team because it's going to be a stiff competition.
No,
now.
It's growing. It sure is. They're going to have
so it's not easy.
More
it's tryouts.
Yeah.
And then you remember last year they had the flag football lady girl that was on the
commercial,
in the Super Bowl.
I'm mad her name's running away from me, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then now we have Palmer here that plays for Shadow Ridge, who is part of the NFL Showcase flag football for girls. So I'll tell you what, here in the state, and we've talked about this, you and I, Darrell, of Nevada State's going to have a team starting up here in the spring, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, we're really at the forefront of this. That's some of what Alexis was saying that I was looking up. Florida was the first to sanction flag football for girls back in 2003, surprisingly. Nevada, we had it in the schools and locally in clubs as early as 2009 from what I could find. And it's been sanctioned here for going on 10 years this upcoming season at the high school level and collegiate level now. So it is neat. And you said Nevada State. Check this out, Chris. They've actually got an event coming up. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure we'll have to talk to Yvonne Wade, their athletic director, again soon. We've had her on Sports Wrap before, but this is the Kickoff Classic happening with Nevada State they're hosting it. You see, that's other universities. That's La Sierra coming in, Arizona State University, Arizona Christian
That's awesome.
as well. So this is taking place February 20th at Intermountain Health. So they are utilizing that facility, that indoor sort of venue. And yeah, no, this thing's off and running. We have some. So I really want to get more information about this, and I'll probably try to make it down there. It's a Friday evening, afternoon. You see a list of schools. So
that's phenomenal. Yeah,
that could be the season.
Look at that! Look at that game at 7:00. Nevada State and Arizona State
University, right?
Yeah, that's
so they're in the kickoff. It's kind of a doubleheader tournament style. And
I'm seeing. Okay, so so it is 3 games with Arizona State.
Those 3 schools are probably kind of going round robin, or 4 of them, if so. Looks like they're all sort of placing each other.
The first time I'm seeing this, actually, so that's pretty.
I knew
cool.
I wanted to surprise you with it. I was I saw this, and I was like, nobody else posted this. I found this on LinkedIn of all places, and this Wade's LinkedIn. So I said, let's that looks exciting.
In fact, there's I can't remember. I think it's the Higa sisters. They're twins. They play here in the Valley. They got bumped out in the semifinal, but one of them, actually both those twins, for sure one of them is going to go play at Nevada State.
Yeah.
She's a quarterback, really talented, came over from Hawaii. And has really just blown up here in Nevada. So she's one of the best players in the state. I understand she's going to go play at Nevada State after her high school career. So it's going to be kind of fun to see, who knows, like 5, 6, 7 years down the road, Darrell, when this flag football team is
going to be some big name.
And they're playing all these games, and that's pretty cool. And I like the way the NFL's kind of gotten behind flag football as well. The girls and then the boys, now in the Olympics, the men. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, they carry themselves like real deal athletes. We have video of last year's championships as well. We'll show you a bit of, but the ones that I talked to from Nevada State getting ready for this coming year, Chris, their Instagram pages look like the Division I athletes. they're wearing all the athletic merch. They're just wearing the team gear. They're fresh out the gym, and people they're the buzz on campus type of deal from the high school level. I was at one of the Liberty basketball games, and I was like, parking lot slammed. And then I saw the football field was in use, and I was like, who's playing? I didn't see pads, and I was like, it must be flag. Yeah, no, this is a busy night. You got the girls' flag and the basketball going. So, no, that was last year. We'll have some new champions tonight. I'll talk about it more with Alexis tomorrow. We got a busy agenda to get to, so let's keep it going. Raiders making some moves quickly in the new Kubiak regime. So we'll give you an update when we come back here on Sports Wrap Daily. And we're back here on Sports Wrap Daily. Just finished talking about some girls flag football, high stakes games taking place right now at Allegiant Stadium. Now let's go over to the NFL, because the Raiders made it official this week, and Coach Kubiak said, Chris, here with Chris Maathius, he said when they asked him, what are you thinking about for the rest of the staff? He said, we're working on that right now.
Yeah, he's got to get that staff together. The draft is right around the corner. You got the combine coming up at the end of this month, moving into March. So there's so many things happening right now with the Raiders and that Kubiak press conference. I was impressed, Darrell. He talked a lot about the silent tape. Remember that? The silent tape. He talked about, hey, there's a lot of things to do that aren't X's and O's, and it's those little things that can make us winners. So I really like Kubiak. I think it might be we'll see. Time will tell, but might be a great hire. He said, they talked about the past 5 coaches since they arrived. He's the 6th. He says, why can't it be us? Why can't we be the ones that are successful and change this thing around? Hey, and why not? And he hired a new coach today, an assistant head coach, Mike McCoy. You can see his family there with Kubiak, his wife, and there's McCoy right there. Let me tell you about this guy, because I'm a University of Utah grad.
Yep.
This guy played quarterback for the University of Utah, the Utes 3 and 4.
I did not know that.
In 4. That he was in the Freedom Bowl, and he threw the game-winning touchdown in the Freedom Bowl. So, hey, anytime you got a Ute on your staff, I'm all in.
Hey, how about it? And right now you see him in Tennessee because he was promoted to the interim head coach for the Titans this past season. He's been a head coach in years past already.
Chargers.
Yep. And after the Titans got rid of their head coach, he was not, in charge of that program with the first overall pick last year. And he's coming into a situation this year that's probably going to be a lot different than Tennessee. And interestingly enough, they play Tennessee again this year. So they'll get to sort of face that old squad. But yeah, this is the first hire of the Kubiak staff. I was talking to Ron yesterday. on here, and I was saying that, hey, I'm hearing some things about it picking up, potentially linking Jim Schwartz, the D coordinator from Cleveland, to the Raiders. And reason why that was sort of noteworthy, we'll see. No word yet on that. But yes, Tom Pelissaro is one of the folks leading the reports that their agreement is in place here. The Raiders have not officially announced it yet, but we expect that to sort of come through officially in the next maybe 24 hours. The Schwartz element has some weight to it because that's something that could maybe put this Max Crosby noise to bed officially, because that's the coordinator right now in Cleveland for Myles Garrett. Why would he want to play anywhere else?
Yeah.
If he comes to the Raiders, but it could be somebody else. But that is some of the reporting on some of the potential candidates for D coordinator. We'll see.
And also there's some talk of Leonard, the coach that's currently on staff that works with the defensive side of the ball with the Raiders, that Max is really, really close to, that he could possibly be elevated to a defensive coordinator. So
quite a few positions, because when they let go of a list of coaches officially right before the Super Bowl was played, you saw there's a lot of openings on the staff now.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. I wouldn't mind. I think a Raheem Morris is out there. I wouldn't mind a Raheem Morris, but we'll see. We'll see. We can see that they're being very deliberate, and that was
thorough, deliberate. They're crossing the I's, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, doing all those things, making sure. I really like when we talked to Klint Kubiak as well. He talked a lot about Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is not just a figurehead; that he's very, very involved in what's happening with the Raiders. So I like that. I know a lot of people do not like that because he's still working for Fox and the broadcasting and so forth. So they kind of think it might be a conflict of interest. But I do like the fact that Tom's heavily involved with the Raiders. I mean, if you're the greatest of all and you got him in your corner, in your pocket, and as Kubiak said in the press conference, he gave me his cell phone number. He might regret that. And that was Kubiak saying, hey, I'm going to call Tom a lot. I'm going to rely on him.
I feel like there might be an expiration date on Tom in the booth.
Could be.
We'll see. We'll see. But
if they let him do it, why? If they're saying go ahead.
And it's probably, I'm sure the NFL loves having him there.
Yeah, loves having him there. He does a terrific job.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have more.
We were talking last year, Darrell. Everybody was excited about the new regime, the new coach. Pete Carroll's coming in, all this experience, had a Super Bowl ring, has a college championship ring. It just didn't work out. I get a different sort of enthusiasm this year, don't you? I mean, I get that. I feel that enthusiasm from Raider Nation, but it's kind of a different, almost like it's a different direction, a new confidence, a different kind of confidence.
Yeah. And some of this, I'm like, didn't we just say this? Saying the same thing yesterday to Ron, where I was like, no, there's a collective energy of like, no, we're going to get this one right. Doesn't mean Super Bowl next year. That's not what that means. But it feels like, nope, we're going to get this right, make a concerted effort to do so, and it feels like that. I agree.
It feels like that. And another reason for optimism here is these teams recently that have gone, with 4 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, and they turn around, they're in the postseason the next year.
It's happening, yeah. We know there's not we're not expecting a heavy dose of the Chiefs next year, but there might be. We will see.
I'll tell you one thing that's going to be troubling, perhaps, is next season we have the Raiders do, not we. The Raiders have the NFC West. Those are the teams they got to play. And you know how that was probably the toughest division.
Yeah, Seahawks are on the schedule. Seahawks are on the schedule.
Seahawks,
that's good. Go get tested. Go get tested. You don't want it.
You will be tested, yeah.
They made a big thing of the Patriots having a soft schedule, and that didn't serve them well in the Super Bowl.
How is this, too, when you think about it? The Raiders beat the Patriots. They get to the Super Bowl. They played well against Denver. Denver probably should have been in the Super Bowl. What was that, 10-7?
That's how it looks in hindsight.
Doesn't it seem
That's
like
how it looks.
It's like, man, they were right there. A few things here and there could have changed things. So hopefully this next year, Max stays. They get the quarterback, Mendoza. He plays well. They get offensive linemen.
Yeah, when we get
That's
a time.
the key.
When we get a time. But yeah. Well, I'm with you.
Yep.
Let's go right along to the next big topic that's bubbling in the sports world, and that is NBA expansion. We got a little update. Chris and I will chime in on it on the other side of this break. And we're back here on Sports Wrap Daily. Myself, Darrell Harris, and sports director here at 8 News Now, Chris Maathius. let's talk some little NBA expansion. But before we sort of get into it, Chris, we've been talking about this. And NBA Summer League was this past summer. They had a Board of Governors press conference where Adam Silver spoke on it. He laid out sort of an agenda. And before we comment on it, let's just remind the viewers of some of what he said regarding expansion and what their plan is.
But I think the next step is looking at specific markets, understanding what the opportunities in those markets are, understanding the facilities that are available to us to play in, understanding the level of interest from local businesses, understanding the overall appetite, in those markets that are expressing interest to us. I just think we also have this greater obligation to expand, if we do so in a very deliberate fashion.
Just wanted that to set the table because it's not that simple. A lot of people are hearing it and just assuming it's happening. But when you hear him speak, he doesn't really talk. He gets into the details of it. He's a real analytical kind of guy. And the key word that I bring up when he calls this not just expanding, but it's selling equity in the NBA. Right now, the owners are splitting it 30 ways. You add 2 teams, now you're splitting it 32 ways. So that's just one of the things. But, yeah, what are you thinking, Chris?
Yeah, you know what I really liked what Adam Silver said here? He said, you know what, with all the things going on in Vegas, he kind of highlighted Vegas. Obviously, the 2 expansion cities, Vegas and Seattle. But one thing that Adam Silver said, we've mentioned it, and we've ran the soundbite here on Channel 8 many times, is he talked about all the things that are happening in Vegas. Vegas still has room for the NBA, which, Las Vegas is a basketball city before it was a hockey, before it was a football, before it was a WNBA. I mean, basketball ruled Las Vegas back in the day, as we all know, with the Running Rebels. So this really is a basketball city. I think it'd do well here. But like you said, now you're splitting the pot. But Vegas, here's the thing about Las Vegas that's so much different than any other city. Bill Foley's franchise has quadrupled in value since it arrived. Mark Davis's franchise has gone up billions since it arrived. The WNBA, Mark Davis buys that for a couple million. It's now worth in Forbes like $200 million. So there's just the magic of Las Vegas is different. So if I'm an owner and you want to put a team in Las Vegas, Darrell, I'm saying let's do it ASAP because that value is going to go up, which will increase my value. If I own a team in Charlotte or Memphis or whatever. Charlotte. Oh, all of a sudden now my team is.
We get to go to Vegas. We get to get that exposure. We get to go to
Vegas. The Vegas team is worth this. It's worth how much now? Well, it's worth $7.5 billion. Well, now my team in Charlotte's worth a lot more.
Yeah, you saw the Seahawks. They won the Super Bowl and said we're up for sale.
Yeah,
sell high. So get it while it's getting good. And we've seen the Lakers go for $10 billion. Saw the Celtics go for $7 billion. So I see where you're coming from. I won't lie. I'm a tad bit just on the fence. Of course I want it. Y'all know I love hoops, Chris, So, of course, full steam ahead if we can. Get it here ASAP.
and they wouldn't do it without Seattle. I mean, Seattle. I think Seattle's in front of Las Vegas, but you got to add the 2. And then the question becomes, Darrell, do you kind of switch up the
conference realignment is the other portion of it,
which would be interesting.
And so it's still a lot to sort out because.
Oh, and the latest news, just this past week, we did a story, according to a writer for the Dallas Morning News, that the Board of Governors this summer will make that announcement.
Yes, well, they're expected to hold the vote, which is what the extension of that press conference you heard from just now from Adam Silver last July, during last July's Board of Governors. He said that we have 2 committees who are tasked with dissecting all of the information about this. One specifically, on the financial side, one on the sort of logistics side. He said they're going to study this deeply and forecast it for the next couple of years to try and predict how this is going to work, when we should start, things like that. So he announced that those committees were dedicated to that last summer and that they would present their findings the following summer, which is coming up again. So when people said this, I kind of was like, yeah, that's not really news. We knew they were going to readdress it again, but it is news. If they are going to vote, that's a big deal. Silver is also going to speak this weekend during All-Star Weekend. So we don't know exactly what he'll get to. My other hesitance just comes from they've got a lot of mess going on right now. The gambling stuff, this tanking situation is a mess. Viewers and fans are really upset about it. And it's almost like the fans are the only ones that get sort of punished by it because a lot of the folks will come in and just watch during the playoffs.
Yeah, well.
And enjoy that when it's like the folks who care and are turning on and trying to find it on what channel and are paying to go see these games are getting a watered down thing during the regular season that they got to get right. So maybe I'm just a little frustrated NBA fan at the moment.
I think well, I think
regardless though, and which, hey, they got to figure that out. They got to figure that out.
How about the All-Star game this weekend? You interested in the U.S. versus international? That kind of setting that thing up?
We shall see. We're going to preview that tomorrow with one of the All-Star celebrity game participants, and he's got a tie here right to Channel 8 as well. So we'll jump into the All-Star game rundown. We shall see. I'm hoping it's competitive.
Yeah.
I'll hold my breath, but I'll be tuned in. And, of course, I really want to hear what Silver's going to say.
The numbers on that All-Star stuff are going like this.
Yeah, and they might hand down some punishments on the Clippers from that Ascension investigation over the summer as well.
Okay.
They said they have an update on All-Star weekend, so we shall see. Let's go ahead and make sure that
we need LeBron James to retire. So
hang it up, Bron. You said we're going to make it happen.
So he can make
hang it up
in Vegas.
And then come back. after a year. Olympic hockey, we got to talk about it. It's underway. They're on the ice, and we'll get you an update before we hit the weekend in a couple of days, and it really picks up. Thank you for staying with us here on Subaru Las Vegas Sports Wrap Daily. I am Darrell Harris. The world is watching. The Winter Olympic Games are taking place right now in Milan, in Italy, and maybe the hottest ticket on the Olympic slate this year is the hockey.
Yes.
And we had some little exhibition sort of games, and games are counting now. U.S. this morning was successful over Latvia, 5-1, but
dominating.
Some of our Golden Knights were in action as well. And, the teams the NHL is distributed across all these rosters, really. Yeah. But the Knights sunk a nice shot. And look at this picture, Chris.
No, that was
coming out of the AP. Marner to Stone.
Marner to Stone right here. And it's a beautiful pass. I mean, what a terrific pass. So they get the big win. Canada, it's going to come down to Canada and USA for the gold, I would think. And Canada's never
That'll be
lost.
A spectacle.
They've never lost. So it's going to be a big, big deal. But that's the U.S. side, or that's the Canadian side. On the U.S. side, it was Eichel with an assist. Yeah, in fact, he had 2 points in the game, and Eichel and Noah Hannafin play for Team USA. So it's great to see. I saw the assist earlier in this game here from Eichel to Maathius. Just a terrific assist. He's so talented with the puck, is Jack Eichel. So it's fun to see all those Golden Knights on these rosters.
Yeah,
and they got, what was it, 5-0 Canada and 5-1 USA?
Yeah,
so both these teams
strong
are rolling. Yeah,
and it probably is rejuvenating for them to just switch gears mid-season.
Yeah.
Play for a different reason, different purpose. Know that you're not playing now just for NHL fans. You're now playing in front of the world again. So
and it's been years and years since the NHL has played in the Olympic Games. And for the USA, you have to go all the way back to the Miracle on Ice before the last time they won a medal here. So we'll see what happens, a gold medal. So it's going to be fun to kind of follow these two teams. They will be in the gold medal game. I'd be stunned. In fact, it would be the biggest story in the Olympics if one of those two teams is not in the Olympic Games. So.
Yeah, they got to take care of business. That's the matchup that we definitely want. Hopefully, everybody can stay healthy while they're doing it, but we know they're going to play hard.
Can you imagine these NHL owners saying, "Oh man, just don't get hurt." Right. They have so much invested.
Right, and then seeing them go against each other, knowing that their teammates potentially put the gold medal on the line.
What's more important, the team, the NHL team,
keeping your teammate healthy, or I'm
the medal.
blasting him if I get the chance.
Going after the medal. You got that right.
No, I'm looking forward to that. Chris, anything that you should want us to keep an eye on before?
A couple of notes from the Olympics. I thought, let me get your thoughts on this. The skeleton skater from Ukraine. You were telling me. Yeah, you can't have. He refused to change his helmet, and it had some pictures of some of the killed athletes and coaches from the Russian-Ukrainian war. He wanted to wear that kind of in honor of those athletes and coaches, but the Olympic Committee said no, you can't do it. So they actually kicked him off the team, and he's done. He's disqualified. He's out. Another cool story, I think, that's kind of interesting because this has been going on forever. The copyright laws with these figure skaters using music. One of the interesting stories was this gal named Amber Glenn was using this song all along and practicing at her competitions. And all of a sudden, this Seb McKinnon says, "Hey, that's my song." He heard it. And they said, "Oh yeah, the Olympic skaters using that. Wait a sec, do I get something for this? This is going out to the entire world.
I guess I see
this
both
song's
sides.
going out." So it's like, but they did work it out, and he said now he's proud. Hopefully, she goes on and wins a medal using my song. But that copyright infringement, those kind of things, it's just so it's got to be
between
kind of
that,
tough.
Lindsey Vonn, like this once in a half decade or so opportunity that you just want everything to go right for. It's such a blow when one minor, one little side. It's like, really, come on now, let's not.
Yeah, what if you're an artist, Darrell, and I was using your song, but I'm doing it for Team USA? Wouldn't you say, yeah, go ahead and just use it? Wouldn't you say that?
Or something. Let's work something out. But at the same time,
you got to get a little bit. Got to get the piece a little bit.
It's the Olympics. That does it for us. We hope you all have a great night. We will be back here tomorrow, recapping some more of this, some more high school basketball going on tonight. So we'll have some updates on that tomorrow as well here on Sports Wrap Daily.